Hey guys, it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so let's talk cybersecurity. Also, any ideas you have you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments below. So, what do hackers actually do in your environment? How do you get hacked? What happens? Well, let's walk through it. So, 92% of business breaches are done by some kind of email compromise, whether they actually get into your account and start using that to move around and get people to give you access to things, or more commonly, they still get you with a phishing link. So they get an email, it looks real, you click on it, all of a sudden you don't notice any different, you just keep working, but you're like, well, that was weird, that didn't really give me what I wanted. But what happened was you opened up a connection to the hackers, and they're now running on your environment. They're running on your computer. So why didn't the antivirus or your endpoint security stop that? Well, a lot of times they're using non-malicious tools to actually establish that connection. There's no malicious activity. There's nothing for it to stop. So now they're on your device. Now, looking at what they do, for statistically, most of them are in there for about 2 weeks before they actually do anything malicious in your environment. So for 2 weeks, they're moving around. So how does that even work? Again, why isn't it being caught? Well, they're using the technique we call living off the land. They're looking at everything you already have running and approved to run on your computer. These are different applications that have the ability to run scripts, applications that can interact with the local passwords on your machine. So one of the first things they're going to do is actually look and see what passwords are on your machine and what they can access. Do you store passwords in your browser? Because most of those can easily be pulled out and then used for the sites you stored them for. So that's one way they're going to work. They're going to take local admin passwords off your machine and see if other computers in your environment use those local admin passwords. This is how they move laterally from your machine to servers or other devices. If they have the same password for that local admin, they can send it over there. They don't even have to decrypt the password because most of the operating systems allow you to send passwords encrypted over the network so that nobody can see those passwords if they're trying to, do what's called a man in the middle or a sniffing attack where they're looking at that traffic. So the password's already encrypted for the hacker. They can send that password as it is encrypted over the network to another device, and now they've what we call privilege escalated themselves. They have an admin account on another device. Now they're working on that device remotely from your device, or they just wholesale move over there and set up some other access. Now they're an admin. Now they have more living off the land opportunity. They can do things in Windows or on the operating system as an administrator that look legitimate. So what are they doing for those 2 weeks? Well, they're going to see how much access they can gain. Can they find all your servers? Can they find your important data? Can they find your backups? How are your backups set up? It's really important that backups have separate credentials and are usually air-gapped in some way. You can't just access them over the network. There's some way that you have to use extra connectivity to get to those backups. So they're looking for that, because if they can delete your backups, then ransom you, it's a much worse scenario, right? The other thing they're doing today is data exfiltration. What they're doing is they're looking for all the data that has value to you, things you wouldn't want seen publicly, any tax forms for employees where they can steal identities, customer data that would be helpful for them to maybe exploit a customer or get access to a customer or a patient. So they're looking for that data, and they're going to start exfiltrating. They're going to pull that data out, because again, your endpoint security may not be looking for that. You might use Microsoft cloud services, cloud file storage, Google Drive, something like that, Dropbox. They're just going to see what you use and emulate another storage container just like it, so it's approved, and they're going to start copying files off your network. And then once they have all the files copied off, they're going to see, have I mapped everything out? What do I have access to? Then they deploy whatever malware they want to your environment to ransom you. And you get that pop-up screen that says, hey, pay the ransom or else. Hopefully your EDR actually blocks that part. Well, then they move to phase 2, where they say, well, actually, yeah, we couldn't ransom you, or we did, and you have good backups that we couldn't get to, so you're just going to restore from backup and not pay the ransom. Well, by the way, go check out this link to this website right here. It has all your data, and if you don't pay us, we're going to release it publicly. So they're double exploiting you. One, they're trying to lock everything in your environment so you can't work. But if that doesn't work, then they're saying, well, that's fine. We still have a copy of all your data. We're going to release it public if you don't pay. So how do you prevent that? Well, I'm glad that I asked for you. So what we do is we need to put in layers of security. It's not just one or two things. We need really good email security, looking for those phishing emails. Then we need endpoint security that's looking for the living off the land. We use like AI engines that are looking for behavioral anomalies, things that are outside your normal operation. We're looking for data exfiltration filters that are saying, why are you moving all this data off-site? Cut it, let's stop it, let's revisit, do a pop-up to the end user and say, hey, are you doing this? Talk to IT so we can release it. There's additional layers of security that we have to put in place to make sure all of these are being addressed. The most important thing, though, is training. Understanding what are hackers doing today, like this video. How are they doing it? Why? So that you have an understanding, so you're watching for those weird activities or things happening on your device. They're like, that seems weird. I'm going to ask IT about that. But also, don't click on the link. Don't click on the link. If you're really, really curious on what it is, just go home, go to your neighbor's house, and open it up there. See what happens. You're good. You're good in that regard. All right. Well, that's it for today. We'll have more tips for you throughout the month on cybersecurity. Thanks for coming out. Like, subscribe, drop us a comment, thoughts, things you'd like us to talk about in the future. Hope you have a great day.